Hey guys, welcome to another Tuesday Tips, and today we're going to be talking about the one thing every YouTuber hates definitely when they're starting out, but it has to be done: taping alone. Yes, it has to be done. The taping alone. Now, I've searched a couple of these tutorials up when I was starting out, and the one thing that I'm going to guarantee you is that you don't need money. They're always like, oh, grab the extension, aux cords and everything, make sure you have boom mics. But realistically, if you're starting out on YouTube or you're taping alone, I'm just going to assume you don't have all the nice equipment, which is 100% fine, which is why I'm here. I'm going to show you how to do this crap. So, there's a couple of tips and tricks that I'm going to explain to you, and if you like them, leave down in the comments that you like them, or if you already use them or you have your own tips, make sure you're leaving that down in the comments as I'm talking about my thing going on here. Some things you are actually going to need. 1. A camera. Now, obviously, you could have an iPhone or a Windows phone, whatever your deal is, as long as you're going to record footage, then you came to the right place. The next is a mic. Not a necessity, but if you have like a third-party mic, or if you're using your iPhone, probably use the headphone mic, you know, that you talk with the Bluetooth on. Might actually work out a lot better in the long run. You're going to capture a lot more clearer audio. The next is going to be a tripod or a makeshift tripod, and right now, obviously, I use tripods. My filming's got a little bigger, so of course I'm going to use tripods. But if you're starting out, when I first started out, I cut a projector screen in half, taped my camera right on there. It was a little tiny Vivitar, but you could really do anything. Tape it to a chair, tape it to whatever you need that it can hold it. You can still click the record button, and you're good to go. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is scripting, only because I think it breaks the rules of every other script, but it has a lot of similarities. The thing I will say is, the more extravagant you get with different characters within the movie, if you're playing two people in the movie, you can do like little things, but if you really want to do like a full costume change, make sure you have a script that is very clear on what's being said by each character and what's happening in the scene specifically with each character. Maybe slash a little emotion in there, what you're supposed to be feeling, because you're going to want to tape these separately. I used to, you know, rip the mustache off, take off the clothes, switch into another one, turn the camera on, do it. But as I started pulling the costumes in a more farther direction from each other, it just became ridiculous. I was pulling my leather jacket off, fake mustache. My hair would be all like up in a different style, so I would have to switch that all up. So if you are going to have different costumes in your movie, which I would recommend because I think it gives more personality to each character, make sure that you do have a script that is 100% you can tape all the one guy and then go over to the other side and do the entire of the other guy. So the next tip is a little more, I guess, if you want to call it the more advanced end. But the one thing you don't have is a camera guy, as we know. That's how we found this video. So a big issue is having tripod shots that never move and have no movement. Subconsciously, your mind actually does want that camera shake. So definitely if you're using After Effects or whatever, record a cup with a square on it and just handheld that cup, then throw it in there, attach a null object, track motion. Bam, connect them up and you have camera shake. I'll do it to this video. Obviously, this is a tripoded video, so you're going to notice the screen's going to expand a little bit. Who cares? See? So now we got a little bit of movement. It's not crazy. It just adds, you know, as if you had a camera guy. I think it ups the quality. I think it definitely just adds emotion that you can't usually get, because you're going to have to get creative because you don't have that camera guy, because everything will be tripod. You're not using sliders, no gimbals. It's completely tripoded, so you have to learn how to push that side of the effects a little bit. You don't have to get crazy with it, but a little movement doesn't hurt. Definitely if it's an action scene, you know, get that camera moving a little bit. This tip is actually pretty important, and it should be used not only alone, obviously, but when you have actors. And I'm going to call it the overlay. I don't know the actual name of it, but pretty much, if I'm talking to you right now, I'll do it right now. I'm just going to cut this screen right in half so you can kind of see it. So, I'll be talking to this guy right here, and he's going to have some emotion, okay? Make sure, I mean, you can get advanced and actually do separate scenes, have them both in the scene talking back and forth, but sometimes it's as simple as just showing one guy talking, transition over, have them reacting to it, and I think it just draws them into the same scene. And it just makes it look 100% better. It has that same vibe. I've done a lot of movies alone. I've just noticed when you just add that overlay audio and it's talking and it's going over to the other character, you've just almost created two characters separately now. And now they're starting to look at the other character who just so happens to be you, and they're like, oh, they're looking at him almost as if that's a different person. So I think it's very important that you overlap some of the audio. Not every clip, don't go insane with it. You just kind of put the, to taste. Next one's a little bit more of a motivational thing to keep you going, but when you're taping alone back and forth and you're taping alone, you don't got the excitement of a crew there, so it gets very dry sometimes, very boring, and you start to think that the footage isn't coming out good. But really give it a shot. Do the full movie, tape the full movie, edit it, throw on your color correction, whatever you do personally for your workflow, but definitely make sure you tape the whole thing, because I've shot movies alone. Every time I shoot them alone and I don't have, a camera guy or an actor or whatever, it's just like, is this really coming out good? Because you keep switching, and then you get to the other guy and you dress up as the costume. So sometimes it does get a little dry. So make sure you finish the movie, edit it, and then if you still don't like it, then scrap it. But at least give it the shot to edit it, because it's going to come out a lot better than you standing there with the camera. You're going to realize once you get that in, you start splicing those scenes together, it's going to look awesome. Another main tip is, if you have the ability to green screen or you have the ability to rotoscope, it definitely doesn't hurt to actually utilize them and get them in the same scene. If you're not going to use external microphones or anything of that sort, then what I want you to do is, I'm going to do it right now on camera for you. I'm going to actually grab this, put this here, I'll crouch, test your mic to see how far it can get. So I'll just start here, and then just say random things as you move back. Keep taking a footstep back until the audio starts to get faint, and then when you're taping, you know how many feet you can step away from your camera without damaging the audio, because you can always go back and always fix the audio a little bit, but you don't want to have to try pulling the dBs a massive amount up just so you can hear it. I've done that in the past. You make the mistake. It's going to happen to probably everyone out there, but let's just stick to, I would say, test your camera mic, whether it's a phone, if you got an external one, then I guess you can walk anywhere you want. But if you're not and you're taping alone, you got an external one, test the distance on it, and it's going to save you a lot of time in editing. I'm going to jump back a couple steps. Let's talk about that script one more time. Just so you get it 100% locked in. Do not improvise during acting when it comes to this. Write your script exactly how you want to say it, because unlike another actor that can react to it and you can still get that story to go in the same direction, when you improvise and you don't got someone on the other side of you actually interacting with you, you're going to improvise your line, and then when you get over to the other character who is supposed to react a certain way and say a specific thing, then you say, I've done this in the past, and you don't think it's going to happen until you do it. And then you say some I don't know. I don't even know an example, but it would be like, so you want to fight? And then the other guy, because that sounded better, the other guy's like, I'll take you on. It's not bad. It's just like, something didn't sound right in that interaction. It sounded weird, you know what I'm saying? Or you just completely messed the line up altogether. So, that was pretty much my tips and tricks. And, there weren't even, I know my videos, every Tuesday tips is all over the place. I'm trying to get better at it. I just get an idea in my head. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I turn on that camera and I just have all the issues I had back then. And I just telling you my tips on them quick. So if you like this, hit the like button. Choke the shit out of that subscribe button. That's what I like to see. Oh, and I guess turn on your bell, because I guess you won't get my notifications or something. I mean, thanks YouTube. And also, leave down in the comments what are the tips you want on the, well, let's try that again. Down in the comments, leave any other tips you would like to see on this Tuesday tips. I can't win with this one. But, also, leave down in the comments if you have any other tips and tricks that you use yourself, or you think I left out. Definitely help out the community. Hop down there. Doesn't matter what you're writing. Just help out the community and make YouTube cinematic as hell. Peace!